Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for another video, and not any video, but the most anticipated type of content for my channel each and every month, and that is the tier list update. So, we do this video every single month. We're going to be continuing to do that into the new year. Speaking of the new year, actually, we'll talk about that a little bit more at the end of the video, going forward with the tier list for 2024. But before we get into this one, some standard disclaimers that, these types of videos, they are only meant to be a rough guide to assist you on your journey through the battle realm. Whether you have a crystal nexus choice or you're trying to make up a rank up decision, you can refer to the tier list, be like, oh, that champion's rated a bit higher. Okay. But, the thing about this game is it all comes down to individual fights, individual nodes, as for, who's going to be the best option. It completely depends where you are, what you're doing, your own skill, your own comfort with certain champions. Like, it all depends on you. That's why these are just a rough guide to assist you. And the only other thing is that before you leave a comment saying, where is this champion? They're probably on the list. At the bottom, here's where a lot of the highest rated champions are. We have the above all tier, which contains only 3 champions in each class. These are 3 of the best champions of that class. And then a different separate tier that talks about something else. Champions that just break the game in one way or another. Champions like Hercules, Kitty Pryde, Ghost, Magic, Quake. Those types of champs. Their own special tier of, just brokenness. But yeah. Those are the disclaimers. All right, let's go ahead and get into the list. We have 3 brand new champions being added. That's Maestro, Kushala, and Chee'ilth. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, guys. So starting with Chee'ilth, she is a skill champion, Native American, and she is landing in the Celestial tier, the SS tier. So very, very good spot to be debuting in a tier list. And she just have 3 emojis, which are the flexing sign, which just means she wants to be awakened, and we can refer to anime here to see that awakened ability. There's 2 parts to it. The first part is with Brother Grizzly. He grants a precision passive each time the opponent is immune to a bleed effect. She kind of makes her a little bit better against bleed immunes. And then Sister Eagle here, so she provides assistant instantly healing. At Sig 1, it's 55% up to at Sig 200, 90%. I was kind of cut off here. Of all damage dealt to Chee'ilth by physical damage effects. So that is a pretty unique and interesting signature ability, which, she wants to have it. She definitely does not need it. She definitely does not need high sig. It's just a nice thing to have, and she would like to be awakened. As far as her other emojis go, she has the 7-star juice because she is available as a 7-star. She will be in the next Titan pool, which I'm going to be opening up a few of those, so could maybe pull her as a 7-star. I would not be mad at it. It'd be a really, really great pull. Plus, she also has the defensive icon because she is tanky. She is a little bit beefy on defense to fight against. She can apply bleeds through your blocks, some very, very ridiculous big bleed effects. So she is a decent defender, and you just don't really expect her to be a defender. That's exactly how she can catch you as one. So yeah, that is Chee'ilth. I think, I won her via getting top 8 for the Battle Royale Brawl. Got a 6-star version added to my account kind of like right away, before we even really got to try her out in the CCP and everything like that. So that was really cool to, kind of get my hands on, be one of the first people to get my hands on a brand new champion. It was really nice, and having worked for it, for qualifying and just playing around with her at a 6-star rank 3 level. I was absolutely blown away. If we didn't have the Necropolis going on right now, this month when the champions came out, I would have 100% taken Chee'ilth to rank 5. I might have even ascended her. I don't know, because just testing her at rank 3, I was really, really digging her. Like, I was actually blown away. I do have a video on that if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, I was just blown away testing a 6-star rank 3 Chee'ilth. The damage was insane. The bleeds were so potent. She just seemed really, really good. And again, 6-star rank 3. So yeah, but again, we had Necropolis going on. So, I took Kate to rank 5, learned her. Just took Aegon up if you guys missed yesterday's video. So that's really hype. So yeah, unfortunately, she just had to wait her turn. And now that, she's going to be in the Titan pool, and I'm going to be opening up Titan crystals. I'm kind of just in a mindset of, well, let me open those Titans first, see if I get her out of there, because if I do, then there's no point in ranking up the 6-star. So, yeah, I'll have to see about my Titan pulls. But, yeah, Chee'ilth definitely making a pretty good appearance on the very first debut of her tier list, which is Celestial Trio SS. And, yeah, highly rate Chee'ilth. I think she's a great champ, really good addition. And yeah, it's cool to have some more Native Americans. I do belong to a tribe myself. I'm really not the type to be focused on inclusion or anything like that. I focus on other things. Dude, so much going on up here, like that inclusion. I don't have enough time to think about that kind of stuff. So for me, it's not that big of a deal to me. But I know some people really resonate with that. So for them, I'm really happy for anyone like that. And yeah, the cool thing though is that the champion was made by other Native American people that work for Kabam, and they like referenced and talked to other experts on that subject when making her abilities. A lot of cool stuff with that. And again, the fact that I got her early, also got her comic book here. This was from the meetup, the Player Summit, Kabam HQ, all that stuff. Really cool. Chee'ilth, she making a good splash on the tier list. All right, let's go ahead now and move over to Kushala, though. So let's go ahead, jump up to Mystic. So boom, right here, she is landing in the Omnipotent tier. So she's going one tier above Chee'ilth. And yeah, so Kushala. Again, let's circle back to the Player Summit. So when we were at the Player Summit at Kabam HQ, we had the opportunity to play actually all three of these. I was given the opportunity to play all three of the champions we're going to be talking about today that have been added to the list. Maestro is the third one, which we're going to talk about him next. But I didn't try Chee'ilth at all the entire time I was at the summit. So that's why, when I actually won her, got her on my account during this patch, like pretty much the day or two after this patch went live in November. It was really cool because that was the first time I got to play her. Because I didn't play her at all at the summit because I was so focused, hyper fixated on Kushala and playing her because, like, dude, she looks incredible. So first of all, her look is amazing. I love her look. Second, just who she is incredible. And if you're not already aware, basically Kushala is a mix of two things. She's basically Ghost Rider and Doctor Strange into one character. Plus, I believe she's also Native American. But what I mean by, Ghost Rider and Doctor Strange is she takes the titles that those two champions possess, which is, the Spirit of Vengeance and the Sorcerer Supreme. Some epic wizard and the Spirit of Vengeance, And guess what? She has both of those things. So she is a Sorcerer Supreme. So she's already, a master of the mystic arts. And then she also has a Spirit of Vengeance. So that just makes for just such a cool combination, man. So those two things, awesome. Her origin story, her aesthetic look. Like, I mean, most Spirit of Vengeance champions look amazing, right? So those two things, and then the third thing, and this is the most important and just like the biggest possible cherry on top, Kushala was made by Kabam DLL. Now, if you don't know who Kabam DLL is, this is his fourth champion. And just to quickly go over his other champions. So his other champions were Photon, who's also in the Omnipotent tier. His other two champions are in the Above All tier, Absorbing Man and Kate Bishop. So that is the caliber of champions, that this guy creates. He has not missed yet. He just makes banger after banger. And Kushala's looking pretty good. She's looking pretty good. Now, again, this is only her debut, so this is a good spot to start in the Omnipotent tier. And yeah, so she does have a few emojis. So she has the Wants to Be Awakened, because again, we take a look at Aunt May. Her awakening ability is super nice. That's the thing about DLL, is like he jam packs everything. So, he jam packs signature abilities. Like, there's 3 different things going on here. And what I love about the way DLL designs these champions is, like, it makes investing in them worth it. Awakening them, giving them that awakening gem, it feels worthwhile because you're getting so many things. And then sigging them up. Some champions, you just awaken them, low sig, they're good. With DLL, it's like you want to funnel in the Sig Stones because it feels like every Sig, you're getting something out of it. Every Sig feels like it actually matters. So with her signature ability, basically, she applies, incinerate debuffs. With the Awaken ability, she can turn them into passives instead of debuffs. But there is a bit of a downside with that via the Despair Mastery. So there's a whole clause in her kit here that once she's awakened, she doesn't benefit from the Despair Mastery. Instead, she just reduces the opponent's regeneration rate by 8% for each debuff. She basically has her own built-in Despair. And then for the points in it, she gets a little bit extra. So that's really cool. The other parts of the Awakened ability, the pause for activating the blessing with fewest stacks lasts an additional 1 to 5 seconds. That pause is pretty big when playing her. So that is really nice. And then again, the whole damaging effect. So it's not only her incinerates that can become passive, it's all of her effects. So on her special 1, she can nullify and then apply those incinerates. On special 2, she has access to Soul Barb, and again, that can become a passive Soul Barb. And then on special 3, she has access to Degeneration, which I believe can then become Degeneration passives. So yeah, what I really love about Kushala is, first of all, the animations. That special 3 animation goes so hard, dude. And if you have an opponent that is Incinerate immune, that's okay. You have other means to do damage. Via your special 3 with the Degen or special 2 Soul Barb. And the really neat thing about Kushala is, she wants to be nullifying with her special 1, ideally against, a non-Incinerate immune. She nullifies that, places all this damage over time, and it's a ton of damage. But, that's the problem with a lot of Mystic champions. Is well, what if, the opponent doesn't generate their own natural buffs? And Kushala's oh, that's fine, A good way to think about Kushala is a more modernized Dr. Voodoo. Dr. Voodoo, he would place the Loas, I believe that's what they were called, which is basically just a buff that does nothing. And then, you could nullify those Loa buffs and turn them into poisons via Voodoo Special 1. So Kushala kind of has that similar idea. She applies passive ignition buffs, which again do nothing, but then you nullify them and turn them into incinerate, turn them into fuel. So it's really, really cool. So as long as your opponent isn't buff immune, as long as they're not immune to buffs, which is typically science. I don't think there's any non-science buff immune champs. So you probably shouldn't be bringing Kushala against science champions because science have the advantage versus mystics. So it's not really a big deal. But yeah, she also does have some other emoticons there. We have the Ninja Cat, which means it takes some skill to play. Basically, when you're playing Kushala, she has 3 blessings that you activate. And one of them is just from parrying, which is super duper easy. Just parry, then you're good. And then, so that's the blessing of wisdom. And then we have the blessing of justice. So that one is when you heavy attack, the opponent's more aggressive. So she has some AI manipulation, which is huge, man. It's so nice when champions can make the opponent, more aggressive, because a passive AI is the bane of all of our existence. So that's super nice, and this stacks. So the more you stack of this blessing, the more aggressive your opponent becomes. And then we also have the third blessing, your blessing of power. The way to do this one is via intercepting. So that's obviously the most difficult one. But if you heavy first, get the blessing of justice first, it's going to make your opponent more aggressive, and then just easier to get those intercepts. But let's circle back to the blessing of wisdom, because this blessing right here is a game changer. So again, like I said, all you have to do to get this is parry. Parry, boom, you got it. Super simple. Everyone can do that. Just parry. What this gives you, man, is unreal. The utility in this one thing is crazy. And it's twofold. So the more you parry, the more of this wisdom blessing you're going to build. And so for each stack of it that you have, you passively regenerate 25% of damage taken from blocked hits. So that's something that Sorcerer Supreme kind of has, similar to that. But that's only the secondary thing here. The primary and the best part about this ability, gives you Kushala so much utility, in that as long as you have one stack of this active, it allows Kushala to block unblockable attacks from non-science champions. Again, don't bring her against science champions. That's silly. But as long as they're not science, she can block unblockable attacks. And that's not unblockable special attacks. That is just unblockable attacks. So, let's say you're fighting against Nick Fury. He throws that special one. He goes above 15 tactical charges. He's fully unblockable. Kushala doesn't care. She can block that unblockable special. She can block that. She can block the following combo. He pulls up unblockable. He starts hitting her. She can block all that. She parry. Boom. Go in. Like, as long as you have one stack of this, you will never have to be in fear of an unblockable opponent. As long as they are not science. That is... like, that alone, that's so much freaking utility, dude. It's crazy. And again, like we've talked about, this is a Kabam DLL champion. Like, there's so much more going on here. I've already been talking about Kushala a lot. So I'm going to try to move on a bit. But, yeah, really great champ. She is definitely one of my top 3 options from that next Titan pool. I would absolutely love to pull her, bro. She's a big reason why I am saving. She's the #1 champion that I want from the next batch of champs, for sure. And then she has 2 other emojis. So, again, the 7-star Juice. She's going to be the next Titan. Going to be a good 7-star. That Awaken ability, it's not needed. Totally not needed. She'll just have, debuffs instead of passives. And, the blessings, when you pause them, they won't last quite as long. So, it's not... She's totally playable unduped. But you definitely want to have this Awaken ability. Like, there's a lot of really nice stuff in there. Passive effects are lit. But it's all good unduped. So... yeah, big 7-star Juice. And then she has one final emoji there, and that's just the powerful relic. So there's 2 relics that are really, really great for her, and that is the Scarlet Witch relic. That relic is phenomenal because it's... I'm actually not entirely sure the reason, but I know that that relic is good for her. The other relic that's really good for her is the Ghost Rider relic. That relic increases degeneration, which, again, she has on her special 3. So if you're going to be using a lot of fights where, you're using that special 3... then I think the Ghost Rider relic is better. If you're not going to be focused on special 3s, I think the Scarlet Witch relic is better. So that is Kushala and Chee'ilth. Now, let's go ahead and talk about my favorite addition to this tier list. And I really like Kushala. Like, I've just been talking about her for like 10 minutes. But Kushala is no Maestro. And the Maestro, dude, I have been a big fan of Maestro for more than half a decade. Ever since I started playing this game, I have been a big fan of Maestro. Like, he has always been that big boss lurking in the background when you first start playing the game. And then, you get to Act 4, you meet him, you fight him, you beat him. It's crazy. And then, you go through Labyrinth. Back in the day, I was with my 4-star Star-Lord, get to that final boss, and it's this big Maestro, man. And it's like, oh, I go in, and he just regens. Oh, I have to quit out. With a 4-star Star-Lord, man. It's rough. It's super rough. But also one of my favorite fights in the entire game. Just nothing but good memories looking back on that, thinking about that. Maestro and Labyrinth, so much fun. Maestro's probably my favorite boss. Maybe not anymore. I'd say kind of when the Grand Master came out, he kind of maybe replaced Maestro. And now that we have the nameless Grandmaster in Acropolis, I'd say that's probably like my new favorite boss fight. But like my favorite ruler of the contest is definitely Maestro. Like we've had Maestro, we've had Collector, we've had Grandmaster, we've had Karina. Like out of all those, like I think Maestro is just by far the coolest. He's so sick. So he is landing in the Omnipotent tier, Triple S. And some people might be thinking like, what? Why is he landing so high? And yeah, like... first of all, he's Maestro, dude. Putting him any lower on the list would be disrespectful to the Maestro's name. And he, just off the bat, he was designed to be a defender. We all know this. He is a massive defensive threat. So, right away, he is a phenomenal defender. Top 5 defender in the game, for sure, at debut. That might change, as people learn to fight him. Maybe once counters come out for him as the game evolves. But right now, he 100% in the top 5 best defenders in the game. No disputing that. If anyone wants to dispute that, come at me. I'll argue you all day long. And that's exactly why I'm going to take this guy to rank 3. As soon as I finish the Necropolis, the Maestro is going to rank 3. The highest current rank in the game. Because I think he's that good. Even unduped. He does have some emojis here. Which is the defensive icon, of course. High defensive prowess. Like we said, top 5 defender in the game. Sand on defense. So, investing in his character will never be a bad idea because he will always be a good defender. He'll always be that defensive option. Something really cool about Maestro is he actually has the second biggest health pool in all of MCOC. So if we put this over to filter to HP, you can see Big Sassy number 1, Big Maestro number 2. Big, big, big health pool. Even if people learn how to fight him, even if they bring a good counter, he's still going to take some time because of that massive, massive health pool. So yeah, what other icons we got on him? So we also have the 7-star Juice, because of course he's available as a 7-star for everyone. Everyone in game has the ability to obtain a 7-star Maestro for free as well. There's no price tag attached to the 7-star Maestro at all. You know, it is 100% possible to go through the Necropolis fully and not spend a single dime. And actually, that I love that, because, you know, that actually makes me, you know, want to make a new account, or, you know, revisit one of my older accounts. I can only have one, Legs Jr., and, you know, maybe do an Acropolis push, because, like, doing an initial clear, at least I can pick up a 6-star Maestro, and again, like, there's no price tag attached to that. So this guy definitely gets juiced up as a 7-star, like we talked about already. Second biggest health pool in the entire game. That's only possible as a 7-star. You know, the 6-star Maestro doesn't have the second biggest health pool in the game, because other 7-stars just at that level, even if they don't have that big of a health pool, are going to have more than a 6-star. So 7-star juice is real there. Then we have one last emoticon there, and that is, again, the flexing, because you do want Maestro Awaken. That is the only downside, you know, about getting him from the Necropolis 100% and taking him up to like a rank 3 level. Is, you know, there's no way to awaken him yet. Keyword yet, because I'm quite certain we will see a way to awaken this guy at some point, and my hope is that I'm hoping it's going to be like some type of like Korean challenge. You know, maybe jump back in Necropolis and, you know, use a team of only 7-stars. That's probably not going to be what it is. It's just an example. So, you know, you do a path of Necropolis, let's say, with only 7-stars on your team. And that could be like one part of the challenge, could be more. Again, it's just an example. Let's say that gets it done. And then boom, you get a dupe on your 7-star Maestro. And what I really want to see accompanied by that awakening is a sick profile picture. You know, for doing the Necropolis, you get a Grand Master profile picture, a nameless Grand Master, but there's no Maestro profile picture. So I really, 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 really love to see one of them with like the green superior class type border around him. Oh, that would just look so money, dude. Really like to see something like that. But yeah, this awakening ability, it's nice. You know, I don't think he definitely does not need max sig. You just want him to be awakened. Because if you can get him awakened, that's going to be a big difference for him on attack. Because that's going to be activating a special attack, grants an additional 3 Neutronium. That also makes him a better defender, just, you know, getting Neutronium a bit faster for throwing a special attack. But what this does is it refreshes all your personal Fury effects. So when you're using Maestro offensively, basically the rotation is just special 2, build 1 special 2, and before you throw it, make sure you've reached enough Neutronium to then get 3 Furies. Boom, drop special 2. Now you have 3 of these big Furies, and if you're awakened after that point, all you have to do is spam special 1s, and those Furies will just keep infinitely refreshing, and you'll be good. But if you're not awakened, eventually those Furies are going to fall off, and you're going to have to build back to another special 2 to get them back. So, you know, it just makes them easier, a lot easier to play unawakened. It's going to be, you know, more important for longer fights. If it's a short to make a medium burst fight, it won't matter as much. And then there's also another nice little part here. So each Neutronium also grants Maestro block penetration, which again, as a 7-star with stat focus block penetration as well, this could get pretty crazy. Plus, he also has a built-in pierce, so that pierce can really scale with all that block penetration for some really nasty stuff. But yeah, so if we look at that special 2, gives us the Furies. So these Furies last for 36 seconds. So that is a very long time. And again, like in like a battleground situation, you'll probably be able to get the opponent down before these Furies expire. So in like battlegrounds, like the dupe's not going to matter as much. But again, in these longer type of fights, you're going to want it. Yeah, man, that is Maestro. And so, you know, we've talked a lot about him on defense, but I think he's very underrated already on attack. Once I take him to rank 3, I'm going to be getting a ton of gameplay. I already have a few ideas in mind of like where I want to take him in the game, but yeah, I'm going to have so much fun once I take Maestro to 7-star rank 3. It's going to be a blast. And yeah, I think he's just going to be really good in battlegrounds, not only as a defender, but also as an attacker, because Maestro has some absolutely crazy utility. If we take a look at his always active here, he has full immunity to poison, shock, and incinerate, dude. Triple immunities. That is massive. Like, this opens him up to so many different types of matchups. Like poison, you can fight like immortal abominations. Shock, I was gonna say Doctor Doom, but I mean, I don't know about that. Maybe. His buffs do turn passive as well. Yeah, he could take Doctor Doom, maybe. I'll have to try once I take him rank 3. And Incinerate. I actually did try this one. Mephisto. He's not a bad Mephisto counter. He still gains his buffs. Mephisto can't do anything about it with his Soul Imprisonment. And then eventually they just turn passive anyways. And Maestro's fully Incinerate immune. So, no worries there. Like, these immunities, dude, so freaking good. That's so good, guys. That opens him up to so much. That's so much utility right there. And again, like, the damage is good. Once you get those Furies up, you just spam special ones. They deal energy damage. It actually deals quite a bit of damage. And the way it works is if you're in Superior Rage, you can trigger through block. Yeah, you're just dealing energy damage. And I think there was... So Superior Rage, gain Fury passives instead of buffs, and gain an energy penetration passive causing all attacks to ignore 50% of the opponent's current energy for 36 seconds. So yeah, you drop the special 2 first. So you get this energy penetration passive, which then ignores the opponent's energy resistance, 50% of it. And then you spam these special ones, which deal energy damage. So these two things, like, they work together. And the damage, man, it's really nice. You're just seeing these big bursts of red damage on the special ones, and you just keep spamming them. And the damage, it adds up in no time. And again, if you're awakened, you just keep refreshing your Furies. Like, it's great. It's wonderful. It's a great loop. And yeah, that is Maestro also landing in an Omnipotent tier with Kushala. So all 3 champions making a pretty great debut on the tier list. All right, now we're going to go from the top to the bottom and talk about a couple of promotions that we have made. Let's do it. Alright guys, so first promotion that we have here is in the Mystic class, and that is Mojo. So, you know, Mojo, there was one comment, a very passionate comment talking about Mojo, and after I thought about it more, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, man, Mojo absolutely deserves to be in here. He's a dual threat, you know, he's at his base, you know, decent defender. Honestly, I think Mojo's a better attacker than he is a defender these days. Mojo's a great attacker, dude. He makes buffs expire really quick. I actually think Mojo is a good Maestro counter, who we were just talking about. But yeah, Mojo, he's available as a 7-star. I would really, really love a 7-star Mojo, dude. That would be a big pull. Yeah, Mojo, I feel like he's heavily underrated. I think he deserves this tier. Mojo is a G on attack, on defense, all around. Really, really, really solid champion. Yeah. All right, let's go and move on to Mutant. So we had one promotion here, and that was actually Strife. So this was definitely some big impact of the Necropolis. Strife went from the Celestial tier to the Omnipotent tier, doing some good stuff in Necropolis. I personally didn't take Strife in there, but I've heard and seen some very, very good things. I know Karate Mike streamed a full path using Strife. Science, not really any changes here. Yeah, no changes here. Not at all. Science class is in an interesting spot. Oh yeah, we do have Sandman. So Sandman's buff now is finalized live in game. So you guys, please let me know in the comment section, where do you think buffed Sandman belongs on this tier list? Now that he isn't in the state that he's in, do you think he belongs in this S tier? Do you think he should go to the SS tier? Do you think he should go to the treble S tier? I'm honestly not sure. I'm tempted to just leave him here. I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Let's go move on to Tech. No changes here either, although I was debating putting Guillotine up. One, because she has had some uses in Necropolis. I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think she could be promoted? Basically, what I've seen from Guillotine so far in Necropolis says she's good for Silver Centurion, which is quite an annoying fight. And I've also heard she's good for, I think, Storm Pyramid X, which is also kind of an annoying fight. I had to bring Iron Man for that. New OG Iron Man, who did a good job. OG Iron Man, I'm liking this placement. He's been really good. But yeah, I don't know about Guillotine. Let me know if you guys think I should promote her. I think we're gonna leave her there for now. Skill, we had 2 promotions. So Daredevil Netflix. There's another very passionate comment talking about him. So I give him the promotion. and then Killmonger. I decided to take Killmonger from the Supreme tier to the SS tier. This is mainly because of his defensive prowess. I recently took my Killmonger to rank 2, originally unduped. He's doing okay on defense, unduped. But then Padme awakened him for me. She opened a 7-star for me during the meetup for the Battleground Brawl. And ever since he was awakened, dude, he has been putting in so much work in Battlegrounds. One of my best defenders for sure. At the Brawl itself as well. This dude was an absolute menace, especially for the meta that we had. But yeah, Killmonger is a beast and a little bit underrated on attack. He's not getting promoted for his attacker prowess here. He's that good of a defender. You know, the same kind of thing with Korg. You know, if Korg is in this tier, I think Killmonger belongs here as well. I think Korg is a slightly better defender, but Killmonger is absolutely a better attacker. So I feel like it evens out. I feel like they both deserve to be here. And yeah, that was pretty much everything here. All right, and then Cosmic. We already talked about Maestro. The only other change was Odin. So Odin got promoted from the Supreme tier to the Celestial tier. Again, this was more of a Necropolis thing. I've heard and seen him doing some pretty good stuff in there. So that's why Odin gets his promotion. He doesn't have the 7-star juice because he doesn't deserve it. Odin does not deserve the 7-star juice for the simple fact that 7-star Odin, his pre-fights don't gain any more potency than a 6-star Odin. And I think that is so dumb. So stupid. The whole thing about Odin is his pre-fights scale with his star level. So you have a 4-star Odin, use his pre-fights. Oh, you got a 5-star Odin? Alright, use the 5-star. His pre-fights are better. Oh, you finally got a 6-star Odin? Nice, man. His pre-fights are better than the 5-star. Start using the 6-star one. Oh, you got a 7-star Odin? Guess what? His pre-fights aren't any better. Like, it's so stupid in my opinion, dude. I think that is so dumb. So that's why he will not get the 7-star juice emoji, because what juice? He's not getting juiced up. His pre-fights sure as hell aren't. And that is like 50% of the reason why he's even here, because of his pre-fights. The other 50%, Necropolis. So, yeah, that's Odin in the Celestial tier, getting that promotion. Personally, I'm not a fan of Odin at all, but I know there are some Odin lovers out there, so yeah. And then I think that's it for promotions. The only other thing that I changed was some of the rankings down here. So I put Kate above Kingpin, and then I put Nimrod at the bottom of tech here. So here I basically have, Shuri as the best tech champion in the current meta of the game, Hulkling best Cosmic, Zorban best Mystic, Archangel best Mutant, Scorpion best Science. I was thinking about Science. I was actually thinking Hulk. We could maybe go here, dude. I've really been enjoying my rank 2 Hulk. I think putting Hulk in here was absolutely the right decision. Like I said, I'm tempted to take Hulk even higher. But yeah, I think Nimrod has definitely fallen off a little bit. I think Future Ant-Man is 100% better than Nimrod. I think Shuri's 100% better than Nimrod. I think Shuri's the best tech 7-star in the game. My rank 3, my first ever rank 3, I did it without even having to think about it because Shuri is that good. And yeah, Kate, honestly, Kate could maybe take Nick Fury's spot as the best skill champion. I think Nick Fury is still a bit better, well-rounded, especially because, he's a ridiculous defender. One of the best in the entire game. So, that's a big reason why why I rate him as the best skill champ. But Kate, man, holy crap, dude. Kate has been putting in so much work in Necropolis. I learned her. She's been putting in so much work in Battlegrounds. Kate Bishop is just an unreal champ. And again, this is a Kabam DLL who also made Kushala. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the list, guys. I'm very curious to hear what you guys think about these rankings, especially, Maestro, Chee'ilth, and Kushala. Let me know if you guys think I missed on these rankings, if you think this should be somewhere else. Do you think if I nailed it, let me know. And let me know which one of these 3 champions are your favorites. Personally, I really like Kushala, and after playing Chee'ilth, I really like her too. But for me, it's just Maestro, like all day long. And honestly, I could see Maestro even taking this spot here from Adam Warlock. But I feel like it's a bit premature to do that. I need to definitely get Maestro rank 3 and play him enough to then make that decision. So yeah, those are rankings. Oh yeah, and the last thing I want to talk about was in regards to next year. because actually this year just absolutely flew by. But basically what happened last year was at the start of 2023. So I mean it's this year. But at the very start of the year, when we started the new tier list for this year, I kind of like redid the whole thing, and then within those next few months, like you guys' comments, we worked on it a lot, made a bunch of changes to get to a good spot. So I'm kind of thinking of doing that again, just kind of like not exactly starting over, but maybe just kind of reformatting things, maybe changing some things. I don't know. Gotta think about it a lot, think about what I want to do. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. You want to see me like kind of start fresh, have a different design to it, different tiers. Like, well, what do you want to see? Please give me some feedback. What would you guys like to see? Do you want me to keep it the exact same, keep updating it as it is, do a bit of an overhaul? Love to hear what you guys think about that. I do read every single comment on these tier lists, and that is how I go forward in making the next one. I use your guys' feedback for that, because this is our channel tier list, not just my tier list, our channel tier list. But what I like to do is kind of at the start of the year, put a lot more of my own thought into it, and then over the course of the year, use your guys' help and opinions to change it and evolve it. So yeah, love to hear your guys' thoughts on all that. Thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel lately. It's been unreal, especially on this series. It's by far been my most popular series of the year. So thank you. This will be my last tier list of 2023. Hope you guys enjoyed. I sure did. It was a banger year. And at the start of next year, we'll have Onslaught debuting as, finally a new mutant. Because the only other mutant that we got this year was Danny Moonstar. And, not a disappointment, but, I want to see some cool stuff. Like Maestro. I think Onslaught could maybe be Maestro level, so I'm very excited. So go ahead and do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please drop a thumbs up if you did. It really helps me on the channel out. Share this video with your alliance mates. That goes such a long way for me, guys. Subscribe if you are not already. We're already over 100K, but yeah, I mean, we can only go up from here. So thank you guys so much for all love and supports. Hope you guys had a great year in the contest. I know I sure did. Peace out.